Okay, Abusia, Ablekuma North constituency back and forth during a year 2024 December elections. Abusia, Bepim ne omuni NP, both NPP and NDC. Yenyan declares our elections. Na case no koko PM court NPP for HSM. Omono omukra pink sheet. Na the entire ama situation in IS and during elections no. NPP tax ebora Ablekuma North constituency dismantle BBB omotwa ejatu pink sheet an electoral commission for no omo keep amode declare elections na we and omo koko PM court no NPP for omo was scan sheet Ahono and NDC legal team say they are not working on and as they won't accept any scan sheets. Into NSR yeko re-elections of a year in Ablekuma North. Cause omon na ho enka say scan sheets and a court number so na anase electoral commission and so na on declare abano. Yenyesa normal NDC for no crown on between atnase normal omankasa create almost scan sheets any legit into omontiase ne entiase china na way and a court no so chere say asema NDC for kano no cre ayes a re-elections ebaso ewo Ablekuma North na echese omutumi de solve problem bi ewo ho enti no electoral commission CC ano re-elections of 2024 December elections no better also akoso bio ewo Ablekuma North na sa asem we betu dwa no ase NPP for amoto the wa NDC legal team no esoligina ya omo expose NPP for two Supreme Court judges no ase omo lose hope say re-elections ne koso a abusuya omo be lose poto all because sa seat na ankasa no NDC weke omo weke at the Renesa constituency no bet NPP for no anti as a per se omo fa some illegal criminalities be at the Renesa seat no interbusuya breaking news no Dr. Rashid Tanko ababonten at the nsembi ababetuja afa Ablekuma North constituency case na koko PM Supreme Court na NPP for the omo ni GDA bia say omoko re-elections a ombesa anso awareness seat mo me yanko na yanko ti ensema ekoso madam ase.
And the electoral commission themselves, you know what they told us? They said they didn't have any single pink sheet from the 62 polling stations. We also agreed and said the same thing. You should go and check the records. It was there that you told us that you have scanned copies, and we said we won't agree any scanned copy. So where did the electoral commission get the pink sheets again? When they told us point blank that they don't have even one single pink sheet. You see, we know their modus operandi. We are not going to accept it. As a political party, they did this and got away with it in 2020. This time, they won't get away with it. We are going to insist that the 62 polling stations, we reconduct elections on those areas. That is the shortest way to resolve it. We're not trying to reconduct election in the 3 polling stations in Domi-Kwabinya, but we proved to them. We had carbon copies of the results. 3, and proved to them, and gave it to them. They saw it, and they brought their presiding officers, they authenticated it, and realized, yes, what the NDC was a true reflection of what transpired.
On what basis was the candidate declared winner?
All right, well, gentlemen, thank you for your thoughts.
I'm saying that this one too, we will not agree any scan copies, NPP scan copies, which are forged on electoral commission to be used to the, we won't accept it.
Thank you, gentlemen. This is where we can. How do you feel about this situation? It appears we are creating a new SAL, Santo Kofi, Akuffo, Likpe, and Lolobi in Ablekuma North. 4 months into this new administration, or 3+ months, if you look at this administration, they still have no legislator. How does that reach you? How does it sit with you?
Thank you very much, Benjamin. Good morning, and good morning to your viewers. I think, Benjamin, some of the cardinal principles of decentralization is representation and participation. So therefore, if people are denied that opportunity to participate in governance system in their country or even in their locality, I would say then there is a problem. So therefore, whenever there is an opportunity for people to participate in governance system, so far as they qualify, we should give them the opportunity to do that. It is also their right. And if they are not able to participate, definitely their representation should also be recognized. So if their participation is not there and their representation is not there, then there is a problem. So in this case, I think there is a problem somewhere. How do we resolve the issue? Now, being a local governance person, I will take it from the point of view that currently as we speak, if it happened yesterday and it was not good, we should not repeat the same thing today. MPs have their share of common fund that is being targeted at the local level for development. Now, first quarter of 2025 is gone. We are now in second quarter, meaning the MPs who were sworn in on the 7th January 2025, they are supposed to receive their first quarter MP's share of the common fund. So therefore, if the people of Ablekuma North do not have participation, representation, meaning they are going to be denied such amount for development purposes. And I don't think it's the best. All of us, the political parties, the Electoral Commission, both NPP, NDC, and the Electoral Commission, and the security agencies, I think our security agencies are, one way or the other, disappointing us. And I don't think it's the way to go. I remember the New Patriotic Party then wrote a letter to the Electoral Commission about how they intend assisting the Electoral Commission to have all these processes done. The Electoral Commission letter that I saw, they wrote to the IGP then for them to be given security for them to finish this coalition exercise. But as it stands now, we are unable to do it. So the question is, what is happening? What has happened? And I think both parties should come together, sit down, discuss with the Electoral Commission and that of the security agency, especially the police, the new IGP, to give them the necessary security as the Electoral Commission has already requested, so that we can have this finality to the whole issue that is happening in the Ablekuma North. I don't think we are being fair to the people of Ablekuma North. As I said, if it happened yesterday and it was not good, I don't think we are supposed to repeat it today. Because we need to grow up as a democracy. And the representatives of the people have confidence in us. That's why the NDC and the NPP all had their representation at the local level or the constituency level. But as it stands, the people are being denied who is to represent the people of Ablekuma North. And I don't think, Benjamin, that's the way to go. We need to do something about this.
We do need to do something about that. I'll come back to you in a bit, but on the ground, in the constituency, our very own sweetie, Addo Abochi, is on hand, going to interact with some residents to find out how they feel about being neglected in this manner. Sweetie, if you can hear me, over to you.
Well, hello, good morning to everyone watching us right now. We're coming to you live from Kwashiman, where it's part of the Ablekuma North constituency. Now, we know as at this morning, there is no member of parliament for the constituency because of the contention, legal proceedings, and which subsequently led to the clerk of parliament declaring that no representative would be sworn in unless the EC completes or concludes on those proceedings and files a writ of the election. Now, I have here with me some residents here of the Ablekuma North constituency who want to share their thoughts on how all this is affecting them. Here is Eben. Eben, you were telling me about how we need to do something about this. But first of all, how do you feel as a resident that there's no member of parliament for this constituency?
Okay, for me, what I know here is that I'm not all that informative here. But then the little bit information that I've gotten here is that because of that, there is mismanagement in the municipality. People are not, because of the illegal system. So right now we have not been assigned to any legal system here. So people are just doing what...
When you say legal, you mean representation in parliament?
Yeah. Because they have not assigned any member of parliament here. People do what they will be expended, like what they will be okay. They don't abide by any rules, so they are they are mismanaging economic resources over here. Yeah, and any economy without any legal system seems to be something unrealistic, something which does not exist.
Okay, hold on for me. I'll come back to you in a second. What about you? Are a station master here. It means you live here, you work here, and you have no representation in Parliament. How does that make you feel?
Well, when it comes to me, I don't know much about politics, but to my perspectives and like what we've been seeing around in this, Ablekuma North, we are not happy with it. And how can we live in a constituency without an MP? Whilst we have a lot to do, street lights, the roads, the community are not good enough for us. And I've never experienced something like this before in my life. So it's a pleasure to have you guys here for us to be interviewed so that we can express our feelings and what's worrying us and the whole lot. So, yeah.
When I enter the constituency, I've seen about 2 different signboards. We have Rúbb been saying thank you. We have Nana Ekuya, I think, Efriye Usu, also saying thank you. What are your thoughts on that? Both, parliamentary candidates are thanking you for electing them, but really, there's no member of parliament for you.
For me, we all witnessed the day. After the vote, we all witnessed that Miss Rúbb has won, and it's obvious that there is a little misunderstanding going on. For me, it's like I said, I don't know much about politics. All we need an MP in Ablekuma North, so that he or she can provide what the youth need for us. As an Okadama like this, I work to survive. I work to feed home, and I have a lot to do. But right now, we don't have MP to at least do the street lights, do the roads, help the youth. That's our problem right now. Yeah.
What about you? There are 2 parliamentary candidates thanking the constituency for voting for them. Meanwhile, there are still legal proceedings that haven't been concluded yet. And until the EC concludes on that and verifies who's actually won, you have no member of parliament.
Yeah, you see, I'm a bit skeptical. I'm confounded. I don't know what is going on. Why 2 people can just come out and say thank you, thank you, thank you? You have to be. We have to get an individual representative, and here's the case. The 2 of them, each and every one is telling us thank you. So we don't know what is really going on in this constituency. So we urge you to do something about it. For us to get our privilege and our happiness. Yeah.
All right. Earlier, I was speaking to a woman. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much. I was speaking to a woman who sells porridge just across from where we're standing. And she was saying that she doesn't really care much for this because at the end of the day, when members of parliament are even, when they have representation in parliament, it appears they're doing very little to nothing. So I want to speak to her and understand what she has to say. Auntie, good morning. Now we catch me say, "What if I want to MP and now only MP because some more problem in here." Inti, sisi ame pese what you are doing today and what camera so. What say how ne say?
See me how ne say.
Hold on a second. Let me get to her so we can actually hear her loud and clear. All right. Let me just reposition. Okay, go.
How ne say? Aha, kwashima ha ye we. In fear bebre near 20 something. MP so amwa ha nyina, omo nya hwe emfa maye. Sometimes assemblyman no kra no mo boa yen kakra na MPs ni don omo maye hwe yen hu amuso mfa so bia se o bia gata you kra na blog sin po mo da besi ha ma o ma no da.
Well, Mibao, she's saying that she hasn't actually benefited from having representation in parliament since she's been here for a really long time. She's never seen the benefits or anything, any major thing that a member of parliament has done that has turned their lives around. So that's the question. Now, and how cross a muni MP? Would have omu cry? Ebia, mwasembia mo how na mo now at least oko parliamentar. Obet me at table before the house. No when your mayor for home, but muni be crying when how?
Oh, media and hammy dear. I will hammy.
I didn't know how.
I hammy because Fasobia knew almost so a hanum. And Fasobia knew almost something me and hammy no.
Well, there you have it. She seems to be nonchalant because she doesn't understand or she doesn't see the need for a member of parliament for the constituency. Oh, we have the station master here. He operates the Hope. What's the place of the station again?
Joy Cooperative Transport Society.
Great. Joy Cooperative Society. And we're just gauging the mood of residents in the Ablekuma North constituency. How do you feel? There's no member of parliament for you.
I can't speak English, so I can speak Twi. Oh, I had the by-election MP because constituency MP may do a development because your challenge is baby, so your problem. And so much to a ban for friend a year or man and heading to a ban for friend. I assume you when them right. I say, where's who win? Yeah, to a banny who park where they will win it in the area. And Kamonia by-election for Franca, for constituency and Mumbebwa.
Well, quick translation, he's saying that he would prefer that they hold a by-election so they can just do the whole process, take the whole election again and then have clearer results this time around. Because when two people are saying that they've won, both Rúbb and Nana Efriowusu are claiming victory, it doesn't help them. If the EC could hear you right now, what would you say to them? I know you just said that they should have a by-election, but on the current issue where we have legal proceedings going, then I'll offer and no. Without the by-election, process is not
Minim the entire so moko kan banana confusion about no moja ba no mo kan na say the bit me declare ban say o man better security no na so mo declare ban man do wi ni ye Ablekuma no for any problem because obi obi wi ni bia no ye hian say we MP e Ablekuma no for ya e Rúbb na be wi ni o Akuffo na be wi no ye hian say nya MP o constituency enti no say o man be hye no manya be on be kan ban de aka because ye tie ye nya ne say akatre 3 polling stations na there no medical abano and no na they see omuntimi kan ho be declare enti so man be ma say military ababa be on be declare abano so on be kan abano nkan na o man no empower security no mun kan abano nkan ho no mun declare ni hu de wa wi ni ye nya MP.
All right. So, translation, he says, recall that there was a scheduled recollation, which was marred by violence between the party members, which consequently ended in court. He's saying that if the Electoral Commission could employ or get tighter security so that they can recollate the results, so that they can bring some finality to the matter, it would help. I mean, we'll still try and engage some members or some residents here in the constituency and bring you some details in the course of the day. But for now, these are the people here, and this is what they have to say. In fact, if you can, my cameraman can just show you, there's one signboard here from Rúbb saying, "Thank you, Ablekuma North constituency." When we were entering the constituency proper, we saw 2 signboards side by side each other, with one from Rúbb and one from Nana Efriowusu. And so this is the situation here in Ablekuma North constituency. As of today, 30th of April 2025, there is no representation for them in the 9th Parliament. Sweetie Abochi, over to you, Ben.
And that is Sweetie Addo Abochi from Ablekuma North, where she's actually been on the beat following the conversation right there. So that is the beat there. Let's come into the studio now and continue the conversation. And that was the very next point I was going to make. Andrew, let me just stay with you briefly. The whole bit about different candidates actually claiming they had won. Rúbb claiming she had won, Nana also claiming she had won. And how does that sit with you? And then the problems of the people on the ground in terms of governance, the fact that they lack a legislator. What is your take? What is your quick reflection on that?
I think, Benjamin, claiming ownership of something that legally you don't have is a problem. As we speak, the Electoral Commission has not declared any of these candidates as a winner of the last December election. So the question is, why do you claim ownership of something that legally has not been given to you?
Andrew, so they both, I mean, they have billboards up. Someone even went to church to thank God for the win and all of that. All of these, how does it, because the Electoral Commission hasn't declared a winner. It also points to how polarized it has become, doesn't it? Yeah. Our electoral process.
Yeah, Benjamin, yes, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Legally, none of the candidates has been declared a winner. So what is going on there? And the confusion is created based on the inability of the Electoral Commission and the security agencies to declare the clear winner in the last elections. And I don't think that is the way to go. So quickly, we need to find solutions to all these challenges going on there. And I don't know, when we are done, whoever wins, those two signboards or the billboard that we have in the constituency, who is going to remove his or her, because they are all women. So who is going to remove any of the signboard from the constituency? From what I am getting from the constituency, you see, the challenges that we have with our people around or in the constituency is that they don't value or they don't see the issues of popular participation and the decentralization in our governance system. Because we are not educating the people enough for them to know what is happening. That's why, especially the woman who is selling cocoa in the constituency, she doesn't know. And she doesn't care about who becomes the MP or something like that. And I don't think we have done a lot as a country to educate our people as to why we should get members of parliament and even NDCs for our development purposes. And there is a gap there that we need to fill. By going forward, as I said earlier on, Benjamin, it is the duty or the responsibility of the Electoral Commission and the security agencies. So I urge the new IGP to take it upon himself, as the Ghana Bar Association has released, or the statement that I read from them yesterday, indicating that it is not good. So I've read some commentaries from certain quarters that it happened as even in your intro when I joined, as it happened to the people of SAR. And we are going to get another one. If care is not taken, after the 2028 elections, we are going to get more of these things. And I don't think the democracy that we have taken upon ourselves and where we have gotten to today, these things are necessary for our development or our decentralization or our democracy. We are practicing and we have come of age. And I don't think we should of these things. About time that the Electoral Commission, the security agencies to come together and sit down with the political parties. All these two political parties should also agree on the modalities to have some of these things resolved. Even if we get to a point that we need to take the coalition center to even the headquarters police. The two political parties should agree on those modalities for it to bring finality to these issues that is happening in Ablekuma North. I don't think is the best way to go.
All right. Hold for me, Andrew. I don't know whether we have Dr. Rashid Tanko computer as yet, but let me bring back Evans Nimakon just briefly. This level of despondency as espoused by that woman who says she could care less whether or not they had an MP. That's exactly what we don't want. And again, like we said, how much of a burden would you say lies on the EC proper? How much of a burden do you feel lies on the security agencies in this process? And the whole bit about both sides claiming they have won. How does it, fight against the process? Evans, quick thoughts on that. So I bring in Dr. Tanko Computer.
Well, thank you. But I think that if you're listening to the people who are engaged by Sweetie, it tells you how distant some of them are about our governance processes. For the thank you billboards, we saw your camera showing that of the NDC candidate. I mean, for the two of them who went into the elections, to appreciate the constituency for voting for them, that appreciation for me is better than for the supporters to engage in an unnecessary fight. Expression of
so it's okay for them to thank the people for voting them into office as what? And someone went to church to say thank God for winning the election. You think all of those are okay?
So it's better than for it to degenerate into destruction of EC property, destruction of electoral materials and all that. At the end of the day, the EC should be able to declare the winner. The EC must. The court, the High Court, on the 4th of January 2025.
okay abusua we ne ensema ekoso ewo political highway ne so Ablekuma not seat no NHS eye enamekwan bia so se ebekwa akodi eye NDC amanyuku nsa abusua Dr. Rashid Tanko na yetene kan ebeda masesa mo je pene kokoti sa audio no edi MI aha POG Media so medamase